right. So, we should be recording now. I don't know, did you see the post that I made Friday, I think, about the API?
Yeah.
So just to briefly sum it up, I gave up on it a little bit, and I still think it's possible to do. It's just that I spent quite a lot of time on this, and I feel like I was falling behind with some other things. So I don't know if anyone tried to run the script that I did and look into what I've been doing.
I was trying to download the Discord, like you had instructed, but I
couldn't get it to run. Okay, no. It was just like it's.
And when I tried to clone it, it was asking me some access.
Yeah, because we should have access to
the public key, something like that.
Couldn't install.
On Git, I'm pretty sure I made it public, right? Why shouldn't you be able to clone it then?
I also tried to go to GitHub and just download it as a zip file, but I couldn't.
Okay.
I downloaded it, but
oh, sorry about that. I need to check the settings for my repo then. All right. Yeah, but I think we have to plan the project for doing it without Discogs for now, and stick to the data that we already have in the JSON file, and maybe we can do some more work to try to clean it up. But I think it would be too late to try to introduce more. And I kind of hope that we might be able to do it then if we do a future iteration with another class. Yeah. But maybe let's just do the round and have you tell what you've been doing and maybe demo something. So if you have something to demo, the idea is that you go on the conference call on Slack and you join that call and you share your screen, and then the screen comes up here, and I'm recording it as well, so it should be on the recording. Isaac, would you like to start?
This might should start it.
Yeah. Slack. What is conference?
Stop. Last call. This one. You join this call. And I muted both my speaker and my microphone, so I think we should not have any screaming anything. Yep. And then you can share your screen. So that's that one there. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was look your package that you send it in your script, but you're using MySQL, and then I'm already given from MySQL that version I have. I cannot see the data with it. So I have another what is called database called Postgres. So I'm using that one, and I migrate the table, and after I migrate the table, I cannot see it from our. I cut our like API like 1200 something. So I use it as it is, but still like I have problem with the table setup from the migration side and our API. So I will show what I'm doing. So right now I'm running the server, and then I have another one. This is for going to Postgres, my database. My music. This is my like database in Postgres. For like asking maybe for the password. Yes, command.
Not there. After PSQL, you can do dash U, I think.
Yeah.
There. Hey. I don't know because it's delayed up there, so maybe I'm.
Yeah.
On.
And then you need a space before you.
I already went.
And I'm not. No, a space before you because right now you don't have a space. And I'm not sure, but I think it's a small U.
I think, yeah.
Not there.
Okay. Look at your screen. Don't look on the TV.
Yeah, don't look on the TV. Don't look on your own screen. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
That's you. Small U.
I think, okay,
Small.
just it goes to the first place. Then my database, the anything sites. So we call it my music.
Okay, I don't remember exactly how it works. Maybe it's. Is this P then?
No,
But I mean, when you didn't pass a parameter there, it did ask about your password. Oh, okay.
This one here, password. Okay, now I'm here, so you can see the table. That inside that list we have my music and this one, and then we can go to the database. So I have this table I created on and this one. But when I'm seeding from here, when we go to here, this table I have a song table. I create for song table this integer voice and I make this as a primary key, because as what we have in the table. And then I drop the table here. But before we drop in this table also I'm having here in song table. I have here requiring for the songs, like I have the JSON down here. JSON I have it as a file, like I make it.
Yeah.
I cut it and I have this, but I have.
That's a JSON file that I gave you.
Yeah.
And you not modified this file or?
No, I don't modify it.
So it's the original
Yeah,
file.
I need to like take side A and B, this one. Either I put more table on it or either we cut it. So and then we can see it. So I have problems. So,
Yes, but what is the problem when you try to see this?
yeah, now that's next. Now let's see. I'm not that yet as well. So now if we make the next seat, run. So I have some tables set up here like recording is
There's
not
a
the
record
user,
does
it's-
not exist.
I get in this.
So you haven't created a record table.
Yeah.
I have record table actually.
I don't remember seeing a record table when you went into the database.
This one you have the record table on it.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's wrong. It's a. You have a spelling error. It's record, not record, in line 3.
So
It's
yeah,
everyone.
Yeah, actually, it's
yeah.
everywhere.
Is
Exactly.
I actually I make it by purpose this one because it was real record and might be from the beginning I have this table with row O, and then when I realized I have to follow the same table, but still
Yeah.
even we change it, still I have problems what is the same what is saying about the table.
Okay, but your error in the console was asking for record, so you must have record somewhere else.
This is okay.
So that's it down there, yeah.
Yeah, so I have to make this O and O also when I see it.
Okay, so that's your seed function.
Yeah, this C for the record.
Yeah, but that one is using record and not record.
Okay. Okay. Now I see that this.
But fix the other one because it's
Yeah.
called record, not record.
Like you don't understand. Like if we make this Okay, we will fix all of them. Yeah. Now in this case, I will
Yeah,
try
that's
to fix it. You leave this one and you fix the rest one. You fix this one as a. And you will fix this.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but you could get in some troubles now because this migration has already been run. So you're making changes in a migration that has already been running. But I think maybe let's have a look at that afterwards.
Yes.
But
so this is what I'm doing, but we're using the same data. So.
Okay. So that's what you've been doing so far. You've been able to set up the database in Postgres.
Yeah.
And you were able to run migrations, and you tried to set up the C script, but you ran into problems with that one. Okay, that's good. Okay. I still don't quite understand. So why was it necessary to run Postgres? It's not that I care because Knex is designed so you can just switch out the database.
From Knex to MySQL.
No. Why did you need to use Postgres? Oh, was that because of the authentication thing?
No, not from the beginning. This authentication, but still I can see the table as here while I'm running and using Knex. Yeah. And I have the database also. I can see from the database also. So it's going to directly the database setup. So Postgres is. But
you can see, by the way, you can see here, right here, you can see there's no record table. There's neither a record table or a lookup table. So
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we need to clean it up. This one and we set up, I think, somehow. So if you keep change there, you need to change the database. So otherwise,
But was it because you got this when you were running MySQL?
Yeah.
You got this authentication SHA-5 or something I think it's called.
This I use it as a JSON. I have Postman.
Yeah.
When I'm using it, I change it as a JSON and change it as an array. So they give me as an array this one and the same like what you give me the same array and this. So actually I'm thinking to take some like side A and B, we find some field for it and we take a tracks and we fill it up a little bit. Can be fit in our tables.
I don't really understand what you explain that again.
For instance, this array from the beginning, title and alternative they were written here with what we don't have it as in our table before, the JSON that we have now in MySQL. So I used to write in my table the same this alternative they were written. So there we have underscore and the title. Yeah. So like this kind of thing, I say here I can use the same but so.
Okay. I can see it might be easier if you use exactly the same property names in the database as you're using in the JSON.
Yeah.
I mean, if you prefer to do that, you can do that in the database. You shouldn't be editing in the JSON file because you could change that in the database if you want to do that. But it shouldn't be a big problem to map it. So you can say that alternative title equals alternative underscore title and so on. But that's up to you. You can choose to do whichever you prefer. I just have one requirement, and that is that you keep it consistent. So if you start changing it in a database, so you have like camel case, that's small and big letters. If you start changing that in a database rather than having snake case, which is the underscore thing, then do it everywhere. Make sure you have it everywhere because there's nothing as annoying as if you're building something and then half of it is one style and the other half is the other style, and you try to call something and you realize, oh, this was an exception from the rule, I have to do it the other way around. That's super annoying. So actually I already see that this is not consistent because you see side A and side B is snake case, and up there it's okay. So that was what you're talking about, side A and B.
Yes,
okay.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay, so actually I didn't make it consistent. Okay.
I didn't take anything, but I don't know. I can remove or we added the same. Our database the same style, but it is the data here.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking.
But I think I'll try to avoid changing that in the JSON file because I've already been giving it to you.
No, we changed our setup here in the migration style for
Yeah.
to get the table. So we make the same title what we have here.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Cool. Who wants to go next? Darren?
Yeah.
So you need to leave the call.
Yeah.
And also leave the call entirely, yeah. I'm sorry guys that I'm not reading my Slack notifications. Maybe I can read them on my phone instead.
Okay.
No, it's not an problem.
Huh?
You make a call.
Yeah, this call number.
Oh, that's because, I guess that's because, so we are only 2 people and only if one per person exits. Okay. Oh, not that bad.
So I couldn't do a lot because I had 2 cases from 2 companies that I was applying for, and I also had the interviews.
Okay.
And I did the discussion, so that
You're gonna move?
What?
You're gonna move company?
Yeah, but it says the interest contract, but basically I had this pay the full-time.
Yeah, but I understand that you need to prioritize that.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's see how much you have.
Yeah. Well, I did some. So I designed a little bit. Yeah.
That's what easy.
I shared that.
Okay. That's maybe because I'm on a call. I set up the call. So.
You set the call to them?
Yeah, because you see, I have the call here in the channel.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to call me directly. It's just in the channel.
But they have Isaac on the call too. Are you 2 guys on the call together, or?
I was just checking that.
Why?
We share the screen and the computer.
Okay, yeah, so you're on the call as well?
We share the screen.
That is really good. So you're trying to try again? Yeah.
Cool.
I need to make it bigger.
Yeah. So I did also that this one has another column. So I did some styling for the page, and then manipulated so it's but I had some issues with the creative save data. I show you. Yeah. And then I connected to database and I also put some data with MySQL. So I created some tables for the data and then put the data yeah. So in the relationship I wanted to get every item, every sun item and then add a link to them. And then go to the URL like I use routing. So but the data we have in the Elasticsearch is different than different than the data we have in the JSON file.
Yeah.
It's missing some.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't had Magdi upload the new JSON file to Elasticsearch. That's
So
true.
I couldn't do it because of
Yeah.
the data, and I have this issue that when I use the link here, so it targets every item and onto the prep and then what's called verification. I don't know, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to like target every item, not all of them at one place. Like when I do this, like this and this, all of it will be targeted. Like when I click this one, also it goes to the link.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. But I don't want to.
Okay, so your pagination goes to a random record,
Yeah,
or what
it's
happens?
because of the link. So I couldn't
Yeah.
like target every part.
So you have a link going around everything, or what's happening
No,
now?
not everything. Just from here, and then to
Including the.
yeah. So
Okay, can I see where did you put the link? Where?
yeah, it's a React part. So I put
Oh, yeah, I understand because the reactive search components is supplying all the stuff that's going on in there. So if you put a link, you're actually putting a link around the entire reactive search component, but that's actually the list. That's not the individual component. Okay, I'm pretty sure there are. We have to dig into the documentation for the reactive search component to figure out what you're supposed to do here. Because clearly, you should be able to put your own HTML markup and tell it that you want to have a link here and stuff like that in the reactive search.
No.
So
Yeah. And another problem that my reactive search just stopped working. Like when I did some studying, it stopped working and then it doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have.
You get things like these container hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one selects a particular card.
Yeah.
I think you can put the link there.
In the
Okay.
In the container hook.
Okay. Let's have a look at that.
Cool. So actually that was it. Yeah. So I also like to build them up with some other components. So make a component for it, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the updates is like on that. So this is open sound, this function. So when I click the link, so the data I should get it from the object, the JSON file, and then put it inside the sound component that is using there. And then the sound component will grab those data and then run it in the component.
Yeah.
So the picture, the sound, all of the stuff. So yeah.
Cool. So that's just an npm module that you found for that.
Yeah, it's a routing.
I was talking about OpenSong.
OpenSong is a function.
Okay.
Yeah, and then when I do this stuff, so if the item that when I put this item that is equal to that title, so return it back, it's in the object that, and then put the object inside the OpenSong, so I can get it and then use it in there. And then when I click when it's on the correct route, and then I render the function.
Mm-hmm.
So I have tried this before and it works, but for this, as I said, it's the data. So the Elasticsearch is different in the
Yeah. But I'm thinking that so you have the song details page, right?
Yeah.
And that one is not based on reactive search, right?
No.
That's based on the JSON file.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that you should be able to, when you know the route of the song, you should still be able to go to the song details page and work on that page. And then you just have this kind of like missing link where you cannot present something in Elasticsearch and get to that details page. But if you know the URL for that page, you can still go and work on it, right?
Yeah. No, really. I don't know if you can use this routing in the reactive search in the component.
You don't have to use it in the reactive search component because you can see you have your route there. So it's /song and then it's title. So what I mean is in your application, you have a route that's called song:title.
Yeah.
So if you have the title of the song, you should still be able to go to that song.
Yeah. If I have the title, this will work, and then I could go to this song, and then the data will also be in the song, so I can just get it from the
And then
prompts.
and then the data would be from the JSON file.
Yeah.
So I mean, the fact that reactive search is broken right now shouldn't be a hindrance to be working on the details page, or is it? Okay, why? I mean, of course, we need to fix the Elasticsearch with the same data, but that's obvious. But yeah, okay, cool. But I mean, when you run into stuff like that, please post on the Slack channel so we can get it updated. Because I was thinking about this already like a week ago that I have to ask Mikey about it. I just really forgot about it. So there's no reason that it's holding you back if you just like asking to hopefully update.
Well, I was working on it yesterday, so I haven't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else?
No, I think that was it.
Yeah.
But if I can get the data and then the sound and everything, I can do some work.
Oh,
Stuff.
yeah. So apparently there has to be a little bit of overlap when the next guy takes over, so the call doesn't close. But you need to turn off your microphone and speak it.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But you can leave the call now.
You are still saying something.
What?
You are still saying
No,
something.
it's okay.
Yeah. But you haven't left the call, you only stopped screen sharing. Just press the phone button.
No.
So I didn't do much this week. So it's a little bit stressing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I put the code, it will delete everything in my local folder. So I'm kind of stressed a bit.
Okay. I think we need to figure out why that.
When I do code, then everything on the local machine disappears and it downloads the stuff from GitHub.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, I today, but I for example, then we write in the references, and I wrote it in Slack, but I didn't do it.
Oh,
And
I actually forgot to say something that maybe they can also use for creating multiple tables. Like I use async and await for creating multiple tables. And if you can use it, it doesn't work.
Oh.
That's right, yeah.
Hmm. Maybe after Isaac you can maybe show an example of that?
Yeah.
I think you're in the wrong folder. No, you're in the same folder.
this folder, I think because of that, still something different.
Yeah, you don't have a node modules folder, so you need to npm install.
You can just npm I.
Yeah.
So my problem is, was really creating the foreign key.
Yeah, I can imagine that might be a little bit challenging.
These are the possibilities I want to find. Create the database one.
It might take time to do. Do you know that? Do you know that not to come?
So I created a database HYF. Created.
Mhm.
And next one.
I don't know if you need to semicolon.
Yeah, you don't need a semicolon. But it looks like it ran the command, so I don't
Yeah,
think.
it runs for.
Cannot
until
add
like when I
foreign.
reach this part, to write the foreign key, it failed.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that. I tried to put it in Slack, but I didn't get any help on it.
Okay.
I have the same problem like this. I think
Yeah.
initial table, the one you created by this number, this table, did you ping on something? So this table up like the next warning, migration failed, and
Yeah, we have to have a look at that file there, create initial table. It's the only one on the migrations. And which one is it? Can I really crazy?
Oh, yeah. Here we can use async and await.
Yeah.
It's maybe it's not a lot. Yeah. So then you can
foreign ID, you make integer this ID, foreign this one.
This one, instead of foreign, I put
Okay, wait, yeah, make integer, and then it does like the same table.
this one.
Or I don't know that table, but okay, give that table. If you make from capital or small capital, small letters, take it. This record ID.
This one I'm on.
Yeah.
I make it capital.
Yeah, you reference to record ID. Where is the record ID?
This one.
Okay. So make the same table.
The ID is going to the table. You know the table has got. I've got the record as the name of the table. Then inside the table there is ID. Yeah.
So what I saying? Make it small, not capital. In the
Okay.
reference ID.
But my ID is in my name.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think so.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Save it and done.
I don't know if record has two IDs. You created ID record, ID record.
This one you're talking about?
Yeah, and you have also ID, for example.
Yeah. But that's why.
Or we just have.
So if you use increments, that means every time you make a new record, you use a regular integer ID and it will auto implement it, right? So just do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Yeah.
And I think you can't do what you're trying to do right now. Now you're actually asking it to do another field called integer, no, another field called ID record, and telling it to be an integer value and then setting that to be a regular ID. That doesn't really make sense. I mean, you're on the record table. So what you're trying to do is what? Who are you trying to reference here? The song, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
So what's the relation? What does that one look like? Is it many, one to many? Which direction?
From one to
One
many.
to many.
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
One to many.
So a record can have one or
Song
many
ID.
songs, right?
Yeah. Song ID. Reference.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
you don't.
I'm looking at what you're saying. It's like I'm now referencing in the same table, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what you need to do is you need to set the, because what you're trying to build here is to build a relation between record and song, and that's correct. But what you want, think about what it is you want to achieve. So whenever you have, let's say your number 0 record is maybe a Michael Jackson record, right? And you have a handful of his songs that you want to associate with that record, right? So what you're doing is you put the 0 ID in the song. So every song has the ID 0, like on the record. And that's a foreign key, right? So on the song, that's a foreign key. It's not the foreign key on the record. The record doesn't need to have a foreign key unless that one is also part of a one-to-many relationship with something else. So maybe you have record collection. Then the record would have like a collection ID that references back to the collection, right? Or maybe playlist or something like that. So what you need to do is you need to have that relation on the song instead. And I think it might be correct to do it like a foreign key thing, but I'm not exactly sure how you set up foreign keys in Knex. But I think it's something like this that you need to do down in the song one. But definitely need to check the documentation for that.
Oh,
I'm trying to read it.
because they have ID column in this record.
You have two ID columns.
Yeah, but it's ID that's the record.
Yeah.
But we.
This one you have one ID. ID record ID record, right? In the column.
Yeah, underscore it's in name. Yeah, but we use record that ID.
Isaac, can we really quick see your code again? Yeah, so the first one is ID record.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that one is the primary key for the record, right?
Yeah, but
Yes.
in the reference he used record that ID. Shouldn't the
Yeah,
It should show a connection to a song. That's what I can see.
yeah, I don't really understand that part either, but I think the t.foreign and then ID underscore record.
Yes,
I think if you put this one, I'm not sure now, I'm just guessing, but I think if you put that line down
in
here
song, yes.
in song, try doing that first.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure that this should be creating a foreign key. That means that will just create an integer, but it knows that it has to get the integer value from some other table. And then I'm pretty sure this one will be the name inside this table here. And this is telling it to go and find the ID within record. But then you also need to reference the ID table on record. But in this case, your ID is also actually called ID underscore record. So you need to change that one as well. And then I don't know if maybe you want to call that one something else. I don't know, but I think it's all right to call it ID record. And it might, I mean, if I'm wrong, if it's the other way around, it might work. No, actually it won't, because record.id is the table, right?
Yeah.
I think you should still need to do record.id record because you need to
So
tell it that
here,
it's a table.
Sorry, sir, you are saying what?
Record.
I still need to do what? Okay.
Record.id.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't call it records because a song belongs to only one record.
Actually, I think that we need to make here record underscore dot record, and then there this ID record, the last one.
You can do record ID.
I think this
Okay.
should work. And it's true you could call it something else on the song for sure. You shouldn't need to delete it if you write your migrations right. Your migration is supposed to delete the table before it starts at least to create table migration. So that's a down migration. Yeah, so you could also run the down migration. That would be easier. But I mean, if you have an error, it might not even have run. I don't know if it did.
It does.
Okay, so we still have some errors. Record ID.
The table, right? For this one, because the table is.
Okay, so actually try to delete
Let me just
the.
do it in a manual way for
Yeah,
now.
yeah, just do that. Did you learn about in your database class? Did you learn about transactions? It's just I think we actually talked a little bit about it last time. But a transaction is the idea that you can kind of group some actions together when you work on a database, and then if one of those actions fails, I mean it would take that group and it would try it out before it actually runs it, and it would detect if something might fail. And if one of them fails, it doesn't run that group of actions, so it just reverts them back. And that's especially something that you use, for example, a bank, where you want to make sure that if you withdraw money, they are like actually it's registered on the account, and yeah. So and it's the thing is here, it might actually be beneficial to put things into a transaction when you're running migrations, because that means that if you only get half of the migration running, it won't actually have made any changes to the database, which was the case here.
So now,
Okay, so you run it again and you
Yeah.
still have errors?
Now it says ID record does not exist here. Something done. Does not exist in the table.
It means that still you have the table there, make a refresh.
It's how.
But columns is right. I'm just ID record. So you do have ID record on your record. Yeah. Can I have a look in your database? It was it on purpose, you know, the notifications are showing on the video now.
It's where?
It's just Daniel. Because if you send me notifications, send me stuff in Slack right now, I get the notification that that's on the video as well.
Review.
So now it is on the video.
Okay.
Just so you don't write private stuff. But maybe I should turn off my notifications. So Not yet.
Where did we put it?
Just to get it tracked or else we forget.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let me first check this. Database even out.
I think it's in the install table because it says that I do a bit of
Click on initial
yeah.
in C.
Window. I don't get it.
Um,
We are looking for the data.
yeah, I got a little bit distracted and I didn't see what you actually had in your database.
Myself.
Yeah.
Let me pass out slide down to those.
I think you know, there is after running migrate letters, and then if you have changes, you have to make a rollback. Next migrate rollback. So
Yeah.
begin it for you and then run again with
Yeah.
letters.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could run the rollback now.
Yeah.
It depends if it's set up right. I think it was just deleting the tables and that should be doing your job.
I think, yeah. Even if you have to make it in the command like rollback, so it will be like from the beginning saying about
Yeah.
But here only you have one table. Because if you have a lot of tables in there, so
Yeah.
it might be multiple tables. And also in this
As
case,
like we were just discussing, was if you try to run your migrate down instead, because I think your migrate down is deleting all the tables, and so that should clean it out before you run the up.
I would connect sniper.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly the syntax. If it's just migrate down or it's rollback or what it
Yeah,
is. Rollback. Okay. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing semicolons after these commands, but I don't think they already at the base migration. Okay, let's have a look in the database.
Should I go to Workbench?
Oh, I think maybe you need to supply the yeah. So
here describe all the tables. Like this control all tables that you have.
mm,
You can click right on the file and then copy paste, then use it here. You want to go to which folder?
I just want to start MySQL on the terminal so that I can describe it.
Oh,
Because I wanted to show them here in
yeah,
Workbench.
yeah.
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 I have it. But let me just show them here. This now was giving me the idea of showing them.
Okay.
But I can show it for this.
So yeah. So you definitely still have your tables down now.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I have a look at your code again and let's see your down migration? So so that I think that looks right. Hey, I was thinking about something else. Try to go to the Connect website and have a look at the documentation for the rollback, because I think maybe you need to do rollback and then write the name of the migration you want to roll back. And then way down in the bottom with the CLI stuff. migrations. Rollback there, yeah. Got it. Next, migrate rollback. What's but is that actually the no, I think you press down here, right? You need to do it up under CLI. There, yeah, yeah. Because this is if you want to do it in code. Migrate rollback. Okay, so it should be like you just did it. Huh. Okay. Just delete the tables in MySQL Workbench.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you could also go in and just select the tables and delete them, so you don't have to create the database. But I mean, you have this command to build the database. So
no, I mean, no, if it does take the database.
Huh?
So when I run it, it doesn't take the database from me.
yeah, this create database. Do you get an error or?
Yeah, it doesn't create the database from me. I should click manual and then it creates the table.
Yeah, I noticed sometimes when we ran that command that was from the Class 03 project, you got something with the problems with the assigning the right role permission, something like that. But yours doesn't even create the table.
No, it does create the table. It doesn't create the database, the schema.
Oh no, because the schema is being created now when you do the first migration.
So,
But did you run migrate latest? You just ran that, right? Or
I haven't run it, but
Okay.
I've created the database, the schema.
yeah, okay. So run migrate latest. Okay, still have problems.
We didn't fix the problem. This one, I did record that in the table.
Yeah. Okay.
I have the disabled somewhere.
Yeah.
He's talking about, I think, this one.
Okay, I'm just thinking now that we also need to think a little bit of how we spend the time. So I mean, I'm actually not sure because in some way it makes sense that we sit all of us in debugging right now, but it's only Isaac's project we're debugging this way. But on the other hand, I'm the only one here who can give you some technical feedback right now. So splitting out into teams, I don't know how much help that is. But maybe we should just figure out what each of you need to get solved right now. So Isaac is clearly struggling with getting the foreign keys set up right on Knex. Yeah?
Oh, this one works.
It ran?
I've changed the ID for the song. I've inserted the ID for the song.
Yeah.
This one. ID song for the song table and reference to the other ID.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Let's see if it actually gives us what we want in the database. Okay, but you need to figure out these foreign keys. Your main problem was what right now? That was linking, customizing the cards
Yeah.
in reactive search. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
I think the same what we have problem with the database and
yeah.
how to connect the table to source.
Yeah. Okay, so actually both of you benefit from this right now. Okay. Diane, I'm thinking if you don't want to follow this, maybe you want to follow this just to be part of it. But if you don't want to, you can go and you can have a look at the documentation for reactive search and look into if you can figure out how to hook into that. And then I can maybe help you look at that after if you get stuck. So we'll just continue with this then.
From the table, I don't see anything.
But when you message back, you can update the sort, you can copy.
Yeah, I'll do that right here. Yes.
Should,
Isaac.
should I be having the field here showing the relationship?
Yeah. Let's figure out exactly what's going on. So, ID song. Yeah, I think the problem that we have right now is that now you have ID song is the primary key of the song, right?
Yeah.
And you want to have a foreign key in here, so you're missing a key. So I think what happened now was you just set that foreign key thing to do its work on the ID song field, which is wrong. So let's have a look here. What I think, I'm not sure, but what I think is that you need to still create a ID record field on this table specifically, and then after that you have to tell it that this is a foreign key and it's going to reference the record. So I think try adding a line before this one,
When?
but before the foreign key on line 18.
Line 18.
Yeah. Yeah, and after this line here,
19.
just insert a new line there. And I'm not completely sure, but I'm thinking that maybe you should be using t.integer. And then do it has to be record underscore ID. Or ID record, probably ID record so you're consistent.
Underscore.
No.
Dot.
Yeah, underscore, yeah. All small letters. Because what you're doing in here is you're just creating a ID field on that table, right? And you're not filling it out, you're not putting any numbers in it. But then I'm hoping that the next line, if you change the first ID song, if you change it out with the ID record.
This one?
Yeah, where it says ID song, try to ID record. Cool. Yeah, so what I'm hoping is that this line will go and have a look in the record table and get the appropriate record ID and write it to the field that you wrote in line 19. But I'm not sure this is how it works. I think we should. This is about the time where we need to go and read the documentation. But let's just try this one out. That's the last one, and then we'll go and have a look at the documentation. What does the error say? Alter table song add constraint song ID point.
I think bring one record for the ID integer. Okay, ID record underscore ID record and then reference just one ID record. So remove one here, that capital one.
On the right?
Yeah, on the right one.
Yeah, but I think we've just been guessing for the last 15-20 minutes. Let's go and have a look at the documentation and find an example instead. So I'm pretty sure we can find something here where it says something about foreign key constraints. Maybe I'll just have a look here. And you can look on your own computer in the meantime, and then we'll see who finds it first. So here's a step forward person. Okay. Yeah, that's not it. Do you have something? Okay. A default key name using the column is used unless foreign key name is specified. Okay. So have a look at the parameters here. So the first parameter is the column that it's referencing,
Yeah, some. Okay.
and the second if you want to give the foreign key a specific name. So we definitely haven't been using it the right way. So down there we have users.
Yes, one user.
Uh,
So this access details is the reference one user for the amount of users.
yeah, so I mean we were pretty close with the last thing we were doing. I just don't understand. So they are using user ID as a foreign key is in the user table. That's a little bit strange for me.
Reference for IT. So this is another table somewhere.
Yeah, so they have another table items, right?
Yes.
They have users and they have items. Okay.
In this case, the users are songs, and one song ID will be reference to this particular table for the go back to
Mm, I mean, let's just try to copy the example that they have there.
Let me see. I this one.
So I think what they're actually doing, and if we have to compare this, they're actually doing all this stuff up on record. That's what is a little bit strange to me. So I think it's actually more like how you started out.
So
But so you're kind of, if I understand it right, I'm not sure, but you know, record is
one
yeah, and song record has many songs, right? But that means in practice in SQL we need to store the record ID on the song. So what I think they're doing is up here you define the record ID on the record, right? And then if you say that record ID is a foreign key, then you're actually saying that a record is a foreign key in song. But it looks like you're actually defining it up there in record. So that's kind of what you started off with. So let's try to get back to that. So there after line 9, you got a new line there? Let's just try to type it out. So t.foreign. And then it would be ID record. And then dot references. Yeah, now I might know what's different here. So I think you need to reference song dot.
yeah, you should do that. Yeah.
But let's have a look at the example again.
some dot
Let's just have a look at the example just to be sure. So see there you say items dot. So right now you're standing on the users, right? And I think the relationship here is that a user can have one or many items, right? That makes sense if it's like and there they actually do the items dot, and then it sounds like this is an ID in the items table. And I don't know if you have to explicitly create that ID or it will do that for us. So let's just try to do like song dot, I think, yeah, a song with a capital S. And then dot, and then what you want is the name of the record ID on the song. So it would be not ID song, because it's actually the record on the song.
Underscore this one. Song underscore.
If you want to do it the same way that they did it, it would be song underscore in record.
So to do the like something like this. So
No.
Just dot you can do it.
Song underscore in underscore record.
song underscore n underscore.
In, like song in a record.
Okay.
That's the convention that they use in Bitnex. Yeah. And then we need to remove the stuff that we did down in the song. Maybe we have to create the song and record manually on the song. I don't know if we need to do that. They didn't. I didn't see it in the documentation. So
That table, we should have it in song table or we should have it in record?
in record, that's what they're doing in the documentation at least.
Let's try from this.
Isaac, let's try something else. Take your tables, right-click each of the. No, wait. Just right-click each of your tables and delete that instead. Oh, I don't know if it's faster. You can try that.
You talked about right-clicking each of the table.
And deleting the tables. Maybe the other thing is faster.
Yeah.
Might be. Okay, just do that.
And then
Okay, so what do we got? Song is not defined. Okay. So
It's small, I think, small
no,
letters.
no. I'm thinking if you need to either, it might be that you have to create the song table first. So let's try just moving the function for create record. Try removing that below.
maybe you borrow one of those guys to help us.
Yeah, the problem is that I don't think Martin has been working with Next.
They run around the center.
Maybe. We can see if some of them are available. But let's just try this out. So try removing create table after create table. Create table record goes after create table song. Okay, there's something, it looks a bit strange here. I think something messed up. Yeah, let's just try. Okay, let's see what happens.
I think
Song is not defined. Okay, so that didn't help. Mm,
Exactly like that.
yeah,
Items was not defined.
I think somehow they explicitly declare items in another way. Just going to go on Google.
I did put those stuff like a variable.
Oh, it was like that in the example as well?
No, yeah, in example, you're asking.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, right. Great. Okay. Alter table, record icons. Okay. You didn't delete the database before?
We'll have told us that it's already existing.
Okay, let's figure out what it's trying to do. So alter table record. So it's changing the record table and we want to add constraint record ID, record foreign key, references, song. But first of all, it's annoying that it doesn't give us any more detail. But second, I actually think it's the other way around. Because see, it says alter table record, add constraint record ID record foreign. So it's trying to create a foreign key, but that foreign key is called record ID record foreign. So that's something that sits in the record, right? But we don't have any foreign keys on the record if we have a one-to-many between record and songs, where one record can have many songs. The foreign key goes in the song. So now I'm back to thinking that it was correct to have that line in the song. That just didn't work for us either.
Yeah, we've done
Okay, I have another.
I tried this again.
Actually, I have.
To think.
I have another idea.
Let me try to do it again sometime. So yeah, we can
when we did the class 3 project, I know that that Jawad managed to do this migration thing, and I hope he used Next. I think he did. Oh, that's not. That's 3 final. Oh. Okay. So that was only one table. Damn. I think I'm going to try and write Jacob at this time. Let me just do it on here.
You talked of writing the registration, something like registration in Amazon.
Yeah, the S3.
Yeah, you can go and register the application.
Oh, like authentication,
Yeah.
creating a user.
Yeah.
Yeah, we dropped that idea altogether.
Okay.
We're not going to do that.
Because I was trying it and they asked me to register with
Well,
Amazon.
so you try to set up S3. Yeah. Okay. So the problem with S3 is that we haven't got the files yet. What was the news today? Was there any news or?
We just got the snippets.
You have the snippets now. Okay. Excellent. Cool. What?
It's 5 files with around 15 seconds,
Okay.
but no information whatsoever about them. So we just have the name of the song.
The name of the song.
On
Okay.
the file, on them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so then the question is if the name of the song is going to match up. Okay. So I discussed this with Emil last time about Amazon, and we're just going to do it so you have public read access on Amazon, so you don't need to set up authentication. And I have already set up a bucket for Amazon, but we didn't have anything to put in there before now. Now we can actually do that. So you won't be having to do any special work on Amazon besides just calling the URL for the songs. So that one won't be so tricky anyway. Yeah.
Maybe I can try to put it back.
On Amazon?
Mm.
Yeah, did you get the access?
Send me the everything.
Okay, cool. Please do.
Should I make a folder with
Yeah,
snippets?
probably.
Does it have to provide a field for these IDs? Because when I transfer that we've been doing in the record, it's just there is no error, but I don't see anything in the table.
Let me see it again. Yeah. Yeah.
Then it was running. But from when I go here on the workbench and I look at the field,
Yeah, it wasn't creating an actual foreign key field. So we can't use that because we need to have an extra field where you can put what record is this song on. Yeah, when you let me just see again exactly what we have before you run it, before you run the migration. Let me see the code.
the code.
Yeah, the code. So now you have what? You moved it back to the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can try and run it. Could you try to cancel your last change so we get back to what we were running before this? No, no, before that, where we had the foreign up in the record. Is that it? uh, oh, okay.
We transfer it to something. Then you put it on.
But now I'm a little bit confused because we changed the order of those two, and did you change it back or?
At this time I put it on.
Okay.
And, then I put it.
Yeah. So I want the call to be on record, like it was in the documentation. And then ID records there. Yeah, and then it's song. And then the next one is song and record. Because there was one thing that we didn't try out. We didn't try to actually create a song and record ID on the song. So we need to try that. Yeah. Yeah.
ID.
No, not ID, just song and record. Remember to quote it. And song with no, yeah, that's right. But you need quotes around this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try running that one. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hold on. I found out the error. I had the same error now.
Yeah.
It was something. I think this band has artist the band ID band to string, and it should work like. It's a little weird, but I think this one is good. And then the one before.
Where do you have the phone? Where do you set the phone?
No, I don't have any information right now.
But I mean, you could build the database schema without actually declaring any foreign keys.
It's not the best, but I mean,
I saw that, but it's difficult to specify that the URL when you enter routing. Difficult to specify the trading. So, like when you filter or save them for specific, this is gonna be in one table all of them.
No, it's not like it's going to be in one table. It's just we
You
can.
don't show the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, we can just create the ID field manually because we're going to fill in that field anyway after with the
Summer.
Okay.
um.
And also the ID that this. Yeah.
So he has the relationship.
No, you didn't set up any quarantines. Yeah, that's what I mean. We have to do that. I'm not actually sure what the consequences are of not declaring the quarantines. It's just less efficient. But I mean, already most of the stuff we did put in one table.
Yeah,
I mean, all the metadata for the song and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still, there's something we'd like to have in separate tables.
Yeah.
How do you do this from?
Yeah, it's not spelled right. Foreign, EIGN. R. And then there is an I. And then it's the name of the practice chemical. Create table second. Okay, so first table, second.
Table first, yeah. Take the ID in table first. Not more and delete. So you can do this actually.
First is where the one. I said have a look in the stack channel.
Good.
Have a look in the stack channel. Darren just found an example, which I think is really basic how to set two tables to link to each other. So did we lose the call now or?
Yeah.
No, we're still on call. Where is the window for the call? There it is.
Actually, it does work.
Which one?
Yeah.
This little script here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you just copy it into a migration and run it? Or?
Yeah, I did the changes and then run it. And
Yeah.
then
Isaac, try that. Just try to copy this into a separate migration file.
not the whole of it actually, just the integer, the first
Yeah.
yeah.
But I was just thinking we could take it the entire thing and throw it into a migration file and remove it after. Just to see what we get in the database. If everything is right. You don't want the last bracket. Yeah. And you probably need to comment out the stuff that you have because it won't run. But that's why I'm thinking it's easier if you put it in a different migration file. I'm not sure, but it looks like when you commented out that your brackets are not aligned. So can I just have a look? Probably like I can't see the most to the left on the line, but whether these lines are commented out. Scroll all the way to the left. This piece. And then go down. Yeah, the last one shouldn't be commented out. Oh, actually, yes, it should. This one should be, but the one on line 52 should not be. Yeah, because that's the ending of your up migration, and then you need to remove the one down on 57. I mean, of course, it will work the same. Whatever, just run this. It will work the same. It's just that bracket doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
But I mean, a bracket is a bracket. So. Okay. Yeah, okay. You need to have both an up and a down. But seriously, Isaac, just comment out everything in this file then, and then take everything from Stack Overflow and copy it in here below. Then you have everything running, because otherwise, I mean, like, if it's not running, maybe it's because you forgot a line or something like that. I didn't want you to delete. I guess you can delete it because you have it on the user, right? It still looks like there's something that's not balanced here. It looks like you're missing a ending bracket, but did you copy everything? Make sure you scroll all the way to the left. Maybe there's more to the left. To the left. Maybe it's alright. Let me have a look at at your code again. Yeah, I guess it's alright. It's just the down migration where there's just a semicolon missing. It just looks like it was flying out there, so it was not aligned. Still errors. Okay, but that might... You didn't delete the database before, did you? You did that? Oh. That's strange, because we're not trying to create a foreign key now. He wasn't using the foreign key thing here. Oh, that's actually a constrained. second, first ID foreign country ID. This is fine.
But here you go.
Try doing a migrate down, migrate rollback. Have a look in your database. Yeah. ID first ID. So, but it does what it has actually done what we want. So you. Mm.
First ID.
So, and that means he is explicitly creating the ID first ID here as well. And this is references ID. Hey, have a look at the Stack Overflow and have a look and make sure it's not like 6 years old. It could be they just tuned the API. Yeah, it's a couple of years old. See if there's something more if you scroll down. Yeah. Um, I mean, we can't have migrations failing. We won't know if everything is running them.
It creates the field.
Hmm. Let's go and try and read a little bit about that references, how that works. So you're already in the Knex, yeah, there. Yeah.
The foreign key should only you should be used for the ID.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're saying it can either be the dot syntax, I think that was what we were using first, or it could be the column name followed up with a call to intable to specify the table, and that's what they're doing in the example we do here. The table where the foreign key column is located. Let's have a look at the code again. Yeah. And Diane, you were able to run this one and you didn't get any errors?
Yeah, I get error.
You get the same error?
Yeah. But I found something a bit wrong.
So next, let's figure out that one on delete cascade, what that does.
Maybe this is probably difference idea. Go back to code. Yeah, like yeah, the one you said not node. You already, I think, you have to say appearance into some table, not node. So no need to say this.
This one is just for play code.
Ah, what is the IP?
And delete it, then
I think let's grab lunch and hopefully the my school class will grab lunch as well, and maybe I can grab a hold of Martin.
I'll start with Germany, and they are getting. I'm agreeing with some information regarding the files.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's some mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were both online at the same time. That they provide the info, so we can.
Well, what kind of mistakes then?
Yeah, the files. One file doesn't match the information, and there was a spelling mistake in another one.
Yeah.
So, and we are agreeing
Out of 5 files.
out of five. And they don't mention support, so I think they're not interested in sending it 15 from the center.
No.
And the general, he was actually saying that they have a lot of blanks, so
They have a lot of blank words.
blank information on the database
Yeah.
regarding the general.
Well, genre, yeah.
And so we didn't want to add it, but I was saying maybe we can list them afterwards and someone from your side fills them in, if it makes sense. And then it just checked these 5 examples that he gave, and they're all listed as popular music.
Yeah.
The database is great. But still.
But what we get now in terms of the songs is just the songs with the song title
We get
as
the
the file name.
snippets, we get the artist title, album, label, country, and the receiver.
So we get metadata with all from the MP3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What is your thought?
I'm guessing if they make MP3 files now, they go in that database and they write in metadata manually when they.
I think that, yeah. I think they look at
because the
cover
question
and
the
they-
question is, I mean, it's an opportunity, in the sense that if we lack some metadata, maybe they have it in the file itself. So we could do a script that reads the metadata of the files. But on the other hand, it's also like another source of error.
I think it's just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Mm.
You know?
I mean, we should probably be able to determine what song we need to match up based on the song title, and that should be the file name, right?
Yeah, but there's snippets that are 15 seconds.
Yeah, I know. But the main challenge here is we need to match up the snippet with the correct song.
Yeah, that we can because it has the same name.
Yeah. You know, I mean, like parsing the name, for instance, I had a situation where they were like ... in the title of the song, and it started splitting it into multiple titles and stuff like that. So that's something that could happen. And then if like you say, if there's a spelling
We give the
mistake,
examples like this, you know. So it's just 5 examples and 5 files.
yeah. But what's the actual file name of that first one here?
I think you can go. There's an open folder with that, or the last tab is AWS.
Okay, so that was Karuna something.
Yeah, Karuna and it's Aruna. It's actually an H. That was the spelling on the first one.
Oh, that's Karuna.
It's Haruna.
And title is what?
Isn't it labeled like that?
Artist. Oh, so title is a song. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's song name and then it's artist name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
and that's a convention for the titles.
Mm.
Okay.
At least from that side.
Yeah. And the first one, there's not a dash between the artist and the title and the artist, and there is with the other ones. That's quite important, stuff like that. But we need to tell them to put a dash in there as well after the song name.
On the first one, right?
Yeah.
Can't you just rename it too?
Yeah, sure, we can rename it, but I mean, they just need to know that it's important that there is some kind of dividing character there,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be something that
But
you
this
use
is examples manually. But yes, I will give them some notation for them to.
Yeah.
to
Yeah. But I mean, even then, I'm not a huge fan of that dash thing. But I mean, they probably already have a ton of files named like that. I don't know what the situation is, if they're going to sit and rename stuff manually, or I mean, if they are, they're probably not going to expect anything to happen. But yeah. But if they are going to rename files manually, I would really prefer if you can find something else than a dash, because you know that's a very common part of titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take the break.